You're just crazy. You're working for the top PC company in the world. How could you even think of doing this? You've lost your mind. And yet, that voice said, go west, young man, go west. And sometimes you just have to go for it. I was born and raised in the South, and I saw over the course of growing up some of the worst behavior in terms of discrimination that literally would make me sick. And I always felt that Bobby Kennedy and Martin Luther King did an incredible amount for the whole of the world. And they didn't solve it, because it's not solved today, but they moved things forward in a major way. And not just for people in the United States, but for people, I think, all over the world. And they knowingly risked their lives for it, that it meant that much to them. And, both of them, I think, if we would have had the privilege of talking to them the day before they died, they knew they were doing it. It's not that it snuck up on them and they weren't aware that there were nuts out there that wanted them to take them out. And they kept on anyway. And I think, that is so just incredibly impressive to me that someone would care that much to do it. I don't think that you're born with a gut. I think the gut matures and gets better and better over time. And the struggle that most people have, I think, is learning to listen to it and figuring out how to access it in some way. For me, though, what I found was that even though I'm an engineer and an analytical person at heart, the most important decisions I've made had nothing to do with any of that. They were always based on intuition. And the Apple one is a prime example of that. I remember actually forming my list of pluses and minuses, and I could not get the chart to work out the way I wanted it to. Because I wanted something to say, this says I should go to Apple, but it would not. Nothing financially would do that. I talked to people I trusted that knew me, and they said, this is not what you should do. It wasn't so easy, and people said, you're just crazy. You're working for the top PC company in the world. How could you even think of doing this? You've lost your mind. And yet, that voice said, go west, young man.
Why did you join Apple?
Yeah, it's a good question. Steve had come back to the company and was essentially replacing the executive team that was there at the time. And I thought, this is an opportunity to talk to the guy that started the whole industry. And Steve met me on Saturday. And it was like just minutes into talking with him, I want to do it, which I was shocked myself. But there was a sparkle in his eye that I'd never seen in a CEO before. And he was sort of turning left when everyone else was turning right. It was almost on everything that he talked about, he was doing something extraordinarily different than conventional wisdom. Many people were abandoning the consumer market because it was a bloodbath. Steve was doing the exact opposite. He was doubling down on the consumer at the time everybody else, the conventional wisdom, said, go put your money in storage and servers. And I thought it was brilliant. Talking with him and the type of questions he asked were also different. And, you know, I did literally, before I left, I think, I hope he offers me a job. You could kind of talk to Steve about something very big, and if it resonated with him, he would just say, okay, and you could do it. People that really don't care who gets credit, people that can privately celebrate the achievement but not care if their name is the one in the lights. You know, that there are greater reasons to do things. You look for wicked smart people. You look for people who appreciate different points of view. You look for people that care enough that they have an idea at 11 at night and they want to call and talk to you about it. Because they're so excited about it and they want to push the idea further, and that they believe that somebody can help them push the idea another step instead of them doing everything themselves. You know, I've never met anyone, at least in my life, maybe they exist, that could do something so incredible by themselves. And so you want people collaborating in such a way that you can produce these things that can't be produced otherwise. And you want people to believe in that.